everyone, how are we today? Just doing an all signs reading today, and we do have the full moon tonight, Saturday, February the 24th. So we are going to be doing the shadow work reading this month. It's actually one of the best full moons for shadow work, this particular full moon. It is the full moon in Virgo that we're looking at this month. Okay, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. We are running a competition at the moment as well, so if you want to leave a comment, you will go in the draw to win a free personal reading as well. I'll just quickly show you the decks I'm working with today. We do have the Heal Yourself reading cards by Ina Sigal. I do have the Yin Yang Oracle and also that Gilded Reverie Lenormand that we are using as the main sort of Lenormand deck today. But to let everyone know a little bit about this full moon, like I said, it is the full moon in Virgo. It is actually, one of the most purifying full moon energies, and it is actually, it does amplify healing. So it is actually the perfect full moon to be really getting, knuckles down into that shadow work stuff, facing the darker sides of yourself in order to heal those and integrate those into who you are moving forward here. There is a lot of attention to detail being in the sign of Virgo, but it does uncover much needed insights, makes us more aware of ourselves. This full moon, it is a little bit of a reality check for some of us there. So, it may trigger some inner critic kind of energy for some of us there, but it is really a nudge for you to believe more in your abilities and to seize any opportunities that do come your way, being more aware of yourself, those inner insights coming to the surface and giving you that purification and healing this full moon. Okay, as always, you will see me taking time stamps. We're going to start today with Aries, but obviously, as with any of my shadow work readings, I just wanted to let everyone know sometimes these readings can be a little bit confronting. I'm not trying to call anyone out specifically, but the idea of shadow work is specifically to, face the darker side of yourself so that you can integrate that, and accept that part of yourself to be able to move forward in a much more healed way. Okay, so bettering ourselves. Okay, constant struggle, I know, guys, but I do really enjoy the shadow work perspectives, and I do feel as though there is something for everyone to learn. Sometimes the things that do trigger us the most are the things that we need to face. Okay, so there's usually, when something triggers us, it's usually because we're recognizing something in that we ourselves, know that we do or say or behave that certain way, or the way that we react to that sort of behavior. There's something for us to learn in amongst all that process. Okay, so if something triggers you, the first thing you should always ask yourself is, why does that trigger me? Okay, what is it about that particular thing or phrase that is actually triggering me, and what's the the deep down things that are interacting with that's making that trigger me? Okay, but like I said, you will see me taking those timestamps. So we're going to start off with Aries. Okay, Aries, we're going to grab you one of the Heal Yourself cards, just as a general sort of overview, but then we're going to delve a little bit deeper this month using the Yin Yang Oracle. Okay, Aries. Aries. What does Aries need to know in regard to their shadow work, please? Okay, so in a very general sense, we are looking at cycles for you here, Aries. The cycles that you have been through in your life, the things that sort of the issues that keep coming back up for you, and you're having to face those same things. A lot of the time when we see that cycles energy, it does talk about, something popping back into your life. Maybe it may have a totally different face, be a totally different situation, but it's bringing back to mind the same energy as something that's happened in the past, bringing up the same feelings and emotions and whatnot as well. But we'll have a bit of an extra look here. Aries. What does Aries need to know in regard to shadow work this month, please? And one more for Aries. What does Aries need to know in regard to shadow work? Okay. You've got, like, you're flying them out at me today, Aries. And they're coming out in groups of 2 for you. Okay, so firstly we had the guilt sabotage card, and underneath that we have release, surrender, and purge. Okay, so we can clearly see straight away there is a need to, release some guilt that you're holding on to here. You're sabotaging yourself if you're not purging that and surrendering that to the universe. So those are going hand in hand. The guilt that you've been carrying, that self-sabotage from your own guilt, and you're really needing to release that, surrender that to the universe, purge that from your system for once and for all. With that cycles energy there, we do sort of see that this is something that it's coming back around in a few different ways for you here. You, like I sort of said, that with the cycles energy, it's something that it comes back in different forms, and it's that guilt, that self-sabotage because you're feeling guilty for, and it doesn't even have to be something that you did or said. Guilt is interesting like that. We all hold on to a lot of, guilt within us for sometimes it's even the things that you didn't do, the things that you didn't say, feeling guilty that you couldn't stand up for yourself, that you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. I'm getting for a lot of you, that's what that is. Coming back around there is the needing to release the feelings of guilt that you weren't good enough, you didn't do enough, all that sort of stuff. I do feel as though it's guilt to do with you being lacking, you feeling as though you were lacking in some way, shape or form, and at the end of the day, it's about that's a kind of self-sabotage that if you're holding on to that, you're continuing to give energy to that little voice in the back of your head telling you that you're not good enough, that you don't do enough, you don't give enough, and you need to surrender that and allow yourself to be like, do you know what, I did the best that I could. There probably was more stuff that I could have done in that situation, but I did the best I could with the knowledge I had at that time, because, we can't go back to the past and change that as much as we would like to. The other cards I've got for you here, we have the celebration, gifts and abundance card, and behind that, we've actually got a reverse card here, which is the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Okay, so with the earth signs being in reverse here, and then that's being covered up by that celebration, that abundance, I'm kind of actually feeling here that there's something that you're feeling. Once again, I'm feeling that lack. You're feeling that you should be celebrating, that this earth sign should be up the right way, but it's not. That there's something here about lack of celebration, lack of abundance, lack of, and for some of you that's directly, linking to an earth sign in particular for some of you here. But for everyone else, that's about, struggling to recognize the gifts that the universe is giving you, because earth signs are very, very connected with nature. I am sort of reading that as you are finding it you're finding yourself unable to celebrate with grounded type energy. So you're finding it very hard to see the abundance in just the nature around you and find the connection to, nature and the earth. There's something missing for you here. There's something with, there's a reason, like that earth came out in reverse here. So it's kind of you feeling a little bit disconnected from any reason to celebrate. There may actually be quite a lot of reasons to celebrate going on in your life. There may be a lot more abundance than you're seeing in your life, but you're kind of, it's once again, it's linking up with that guilt energy here. that you are, feeling as though you don't deserve that celebration. You don't deserve abundance or gifts from the universe here. So you're really, really needing to release and surrender that guilt, so that you can break this cycle that you keep putting yourself in, Aries. I'm just going to get you some advice with the Lenormand. I think that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at the issues with those two oracles, and then we'll look for advice on how to deal with this shadow work stuff with the Lenormand. Okay, Aries. Advice for Aries to overcome their shadow work. One of my recent all signs videos there, Aries, I did have the advice to achieve your goals. So it's very similar to what we're looking for here with the advice. Okay, so you might want to check that video out as well. Advice for Aries with their shadow work, please. That's an interesting message, Aries. Well, we are seeing the tree on the bottom of the deck, so we are definitely seeing the potential for growth for you here. We do have the scythe coming through. So the scythe is all about, decisive changes, sudden, unexpected even changes that you're needing to make for yourself here, Aries. It's all about your abundance. We do have the fish coming through there as well. So, it's kind of making a change with the way that you're holding on to this guilt, surrendering that guilt, breaking free from that guilt, so that you can accept that abundance in your life and whatnot. I'm getting here, breaking that cycle for yourself, really, really focusing on breaking that cycle of any guilt or self-sabotage that you're putting yourself into here, so that you can actually start to celebrate the gifts that the universe is trying to give you here. For some of you, that gift is directly related to an earth sign. For others of you, that gift is more so along the lines of, the gift of feeling grounded, the gift of, all the earth sign qualities. So if you don't know anything about the earth sign qualities, they are very sort of grounded, and we do hear a lot of keywords like vigilance and perseverance, determination, ambition. They can be quite stubborn, but so can you, Aries. A lot of the time it's being patient as well, and that grounding, that grounded kind of energy where you accept that things take time to grow. You can't just put a seed in the ground and expect an apple tree overnight. Earth sign is all about, you're putting that seed in the ground and you're coming and checking on that every single day, giving it a little tiny bit of water, allowing it some sunshine, and checking on that and looking after that and nurturing that every single day, and allowing that to grow in the time that it needs, okay? But with that scythe there, we really are seeing you sort of breaking free from this self-guilt, this self-sabotage that you've got yourself in here, so that you can allow yourself to be more abundant. I feel like a lot of you are telling yourselves, I don't deserve better financial situation. I don't deserve to be wealthy or abundant. Wealth is in a lot more than just money as well, but you're kind of telling yourself, I don't deserve that. And it's asking you to cut the ish and, accept change, accept to, really stop and think about things in different ways, in new ways, cut the BS and, try to make sudden changes in the way that you're dealing with things and approaching these sorts of issues, the way that you are having gratitude for even the smallest things around you, and understanding that, it's all about nurturing that abundance, nurturing that earth abundance, and rather than just expecting it to be a huge, big celebration. You can celebrate, that the smallest little things with that. It's like, because, with the example of the apple tree, you come back after a couple of weeks and all of a sudden you see a little sprout, so exciting and celebrate. And then you keep watering that every single day, keep watering that, keep giving that sunshine and keep nurturing that. Another year later, all of a sudden you've got a little tree popping up, but it's still not going to bear apples, for another 5 or 10 years. Apple trees are quite long, I believe. It's all about that nurturing yourself and nurturing that that within you of I want to break this cycle. I want to get rid of that self-sabotage and that guilt that I'm holding on to here. For a lot of you here, we do also have the Tower. Okay, so the tower, I feel like for a lot of you, it's asking you directly to look at these cycles, to look at the way that these things have played out in the past for you, and how am I going to break that cycle so it doesn't go the exact same way next time around. I don't want to repeat these cycles. I want to break that cycle and start a brand new cycle. The tower really does talk about the foundations that you've laid within yourself, you know, and your advice here is to sort of go back to the past in order to aid the future and build a stronger foundation for yourself in the future, by going back to the past and looking at that and analyzing that and surrendering any guilt that you've held on to from those past cycles, so that that same stuff's not sort of coming back around all over again here, Aries. You know, there is also the element with the tower that there may be the need to take some time in solitude as well, to really think about this sort of stuff and to really allow yourself to, you know, release and surrender any guilt that you are holding on to here, with all that. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Aries. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. But for now, we will move on over to our Taurus. How are we, Taurus? Okay, Taurus. What does Taurus need to know in regard to their shadow work? Taurus and shadow work this month, please. Okay, so we've got the Phoenix rising coming through as your main sort of general energy there. So the Phoenix rising, it's all about, you know, rising from the ashes of who you once were. I swear we got a very similar message in your weekly reading, Taurus. That I distinctly remember. Was it you, Taurus, that got the message about, you know, a total rebirth of the version of yourself that you are now as to what you were 5 or 10 years ago? It's kind of talking about that sort of thing. Phoenix rising is the point where we're rising from the ashes of the past. All right, a phoenix is that bird that, you know, they burst into flame and then a new bird rises from the ashes. So the Phoenix rising is where the new beginning is coming through, where that new baby little bird is coming up from the ashes. So it's kind of like you've burnt the past to ashes and we're ready to rise anew, ready to embrace this beautiful little baby Taurus hatching out of their egg. Taurus, what does Taurus need to know for shadow work, please? Holy dooly. So pretty much exactly what we've just said. This is definitely a strong month for you, Taurus, when it comes to your shadow work, in a very positive way. Okay, because not only do we have that Phoenix rising where we're seeing the new beginnings, you know, starting to hatch for you here, we do have the Remember Awakening card. Okay, so the visual there with a lot of light and bright in that energy, you know, awakening, you're remembering who you truly want to be, the version of yourself that you're meant to be, rather than the version of yourself that you've held yourself trapped in the past. So it's kind of awakening to this brand new version of yourself here, Taurus. We do have epiphany and breakthrough. So definitely seeing here, Taurus, once again, look at that, you know, the sunlight imagery here. It's like a brand new dawn is rising for you here, Taurus. That Phoenix rising, the light is really coming to the surface for you here. You know, we do have a breakthrough, some potential epiphanies happening for you, personal revelations where you're realizing a little bit more about where you want to go next. The version, I feel like for majority of you, this is all about the version of yourself that you want to be, and really sort of sitting there and looking at the version of yourself that you have been in the past, and how do I change that? How do I get to this version of myself that I actually want to be? I don't even recognize that past version of myself. I want to be like this. I want to do these things. I want to be this sort of a person, and really sort of having these epiphanies and breakthroughs as to, you know, what needs to change in our life in order for us to embrace that and you know, actually start living embodying that and being that new version of ourselves fully. Okay, we also have the spring card, which is all about seeds, planting the seeds of this new version of yourself once again here, Taurus. So we definitely are seeing you, Taurus, coming out into the light, coming out into your own. For some of you, you may actually be going through a sort of spiritual awakening at this time as well. It may be all sort of part and parcel for some of you, because spiritual awakenings, they are kind of a bit rough in that sense, where it's, a lot of the time it does take a little bit of shadow work, a bit of facing the darker sides of ourselves, facing the versions of ourselves that, we have been in the past, that realizing, I don't want to be like that anymore. And we're seeing you, though, really planting those seeds of going, if I don't want to be like that anymore, what do I want to be like? How can I actually, take steps to change this about myself? And you're really actually, starting to nurture yourself a little bit here when it comes to those seeds that you're planting, and in order to move forward. But we'll get a couple of advice cards for you. Your reading is pretty straightforward this time around. It's asking you to really just embrace the epiphanies and embrace moving forward, and embrace the future version of yourself, and really starting to take those steps. But advice for Taurus with shadow work, please. Yeah, straightforward. We have the compass rose. So you're on the right path. You're following the right direction for yourself. You know the direction you want to go in when it comes to all this. You are sort of, finding your true north, and it's pointing you in that right direction, holding you steady to exactly where you need to be. We do have the coffin energy. So we do see you are, the strength for you at the moment is going to be in ending things around you that no longer serve you, the things that don't serve your highest good, those behaviors and actions that you may have taken in the past, understanding that, I might want to close the lid on that version of myself. I need to, cut that out of my life, stop doing those sorts of behaviors, and really looking at things in a brand new way. That's kind of like that Phoenix rising card all over again. It's, death and rebirth. So rebirthing yourself into the version of yourself you want to be long term. We do see the lily here as well. So really focusing on the long term, where you want to be, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. When someone writes your eulogy, what do you want them to be saying about you, Taurus? Do you want them to be saying, yeah, Taurus did this and that, and they had a big house, they had lots of money? Or do you want them to be sort of talking in your eulogy about, Taurus was actually such a moral person. They were such a kind person, really stopping and thinking about, I'm actually feeling that, especially with that coffin energy here, that may actually be a really good exercise for you guys this full moon, is to actually sit down and write your own eulogy the way that you want it to, read. Looking, imagine, obviously everyone's different ages. So, imagine, if you were made it all the way to, 100, for example, what would you want the people in your life to write about your life? Sit down and write it out. What you want your life to represent from here on out. Don't even worry about what's been your life from birth to now. Worry about now till the end of it, and really focus on what you want your main message of your life to be toward your children, your children's children, even if you don't have children, your loved ones, your friends, your family. What would you want them to know of you? 20, 30, 40 years from now, what would you want them to say about you? Would you want them to say, oh, Taurus had a big house, a fancy car, they had a lot of money, they were happy? Is that all you want them to say? Or do you want them to talk about your kindness, your morals, your values, your zest for life, your happiness in general? Really, really talking about those sorts of things, and allowing that to, be part of your personal breakthrough here of where you actually want your life to go. Do you want them to just talk about, oh, they one time they bought a plane and they traveled around the world, but that doesn't actually say anything about you, does it? Okay, so really think about that. I feel like that might be actually a really good activity for you, Taurus. Do you want your family to even be there? Are they even going to be there? With the life that you're currently living, are you going to have family around you? Are you going to have friends there? Are you going to be someone who has no one show up at their funeral? What are you going to do from now on out to make that funeral what you would really want it to be? Okay, if you envision your funeral having hundreds of family, friends around you when you pass from this world, how do you get there? How do you get to that point where, those people want to be in your life? They're wanting to be a part of your life. So I really feel as though that's something that may be very useful to you at the moment, Taurus, to really focus on the long term with that side of it all. All right. So sorry if that's a bit dark and whatever, but talking about death, but we all have, it's part of life, right? So we all have to face that at some point. So but make sure you do check your other placements, of course. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading. But for now, I will move on over to our Geminis. Gemini, how are we today? Gemini, what does Gemini need to know in regard to their shadow work? Gemini and shadow work. You're only the third sign, and we're already getting some pretty deep messages this month, Gemini. So brace yourselves. We have the home card coming through as your main overview here, Gemini. Straight away, I want to sort of say, what does home mean to you? Where is home? If someone says the phrase, home is where the heart is, where is that for you? Who is that for you? What is that feeling inside of yourself that feels like home, makes you feel like you're home? Home a lot of the time is about safety and security, that sense of family and bonding. I feel like it's on your mind at the moment, Gemini, is that feeling a little bit adrift, like you have no home. Let's have a look, though. Gemini. It's obviously coming through in some sense because it's your shadow work overview. So we'll have a bit of a look here. Gemini and shadow work. What's going on for Gemini with shadow work this month? Yeah, definitely seeing the same issues coming through here. Okay, so we do have the stability, harmony, and flow card. That one actually flew on out. The main card being stability, the main message here being the stability. As I did say, that home energy, it does talk about stability and security, your place in the world. Where do you feel secure and safe? What makes you feel stable? What makes you feel like you're in harmony, in flow with the world, with yourself, with family, with everyone around you. We also do have this interesting message here, which is the Venus card, which is about love offers. All right. And we also have the transcendence and unity. So for some of you, we are definitely seeing that there's something coming to light with you about needing a stronger sense of unity, wanting those love offers, because love offers, it doesn't just mean romantic love. It's all about, unconditional love and that stable love, that person that they're going to walk by your side, that they're going to be there to support you and love you and care about you. They're going to offer you understanding. They're going to offer you, unity. This feeling of belonging. So that's kind of what we're looking at for you this month, Gemini, that feeling of belonging. Okay, where is that at for you personally at the moment? Because with this message here, it shows us that we're trying to, stabilize that within ourselves. We're trying to, integrate that into ourselves. If that's what we're facing in our shadow, it does show us that there's issues here, that we are, we're trying to find that unity, not just with, not just externally with the people around us, but also internally, become more unified, unify within ourselves what makes us feel stable and secure in life and in love. Like I said, that unconditional love, it's coming through quite heavy. That for a lot of you, it really is about, I feel like for some of you, it's kind of you in a disconnect from that there may be people around you that are trying to, offer you this unity energy, trying to offer you this home, this safe space for you to call home, regardless of whether that is, like family, friends, like lovers, that sort of stuff. It doesn't matter who the person is. I feel like there's a lot of people trying to offer you support and unconditional love and this stability and this, trying to help you, find harmony within yourself, find unity within yourself. So why are you fighting against it? I want to say here, it's coming through that if this is coming through in your shadow work, what is it about this that is that you're fighting against? Why are you fighting against this? Why are you struggling so much with this? Once again, it's because you yourself are not in harmony with yourself, or with that unconditional love for yourself. I feel, Gemini, that there's just something about this where it's like, it's every time you get offered stability, it's kind of like I'm sensing a Gemini that's like, get away from me, because of yourself. So it's asking you to face that within yourself. Why are you pushing that away? Why are you struggling with, because I'm feeling that on the one hand, you want this unity, you want this transcendence and this harmony, you want this natural flow of stability and security, you want these offers to keep coming, but in the same sense, there's a part of you that's pushing them away, whether you're doing this subconsciously or not. It's really asking you to sort of look at that and why. Ask yourself, why are you pushing that away? What is it about that is making you push that away and not allow? Because I feel like there's something about you're distrusting this stability for yourself here. There might be something in one of your other placements that's linking and going to give you an extra clue on what that is. But I'll have a look at the advice. That might give us a bit of a better clue here. Okay. Advice for Gemini with their shadow work, please. Advice for Gemini with shadow work. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, I've got the mask and then the moon as well. So there's a part of this message asking you to, remove the facade and allow your emotions to come through. Allow yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable. I feel like that's, for some of you, what part of the hidden issue is here is that you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. It's kind of like you're trying to protect yourself too much and you're not allowing any of your emotions to come to the surface. But we do have the clockwork card here. So it's kind of telling us that it's got multiple messages, this card. It is all about time, in the sense of, the clockwork card does let us know that there's, a million different things that all work together to allow something to happen in the right time. Like that little bird pops out and goes, boop, boop, it's time, so there's some cogs still falling into place, I feel like here, but it's all about that harmony as well, that flow, once again, that if one cog falls out, all of a sudden we're not on time anymore. It starts going a bit haywire. It's kind of telling me that don't be the cog that pops out. Make sure that you're doing your bit. And as long as you keep rolling around and giving that to the next gear, it'll all work out. Okay, so it feels like for you here, Gemini, it does feel like as though you're kind of, remembering that you're just part of a team, remembering that, this unity energy that that you're needing to actually work as a part of the team, you know, if you want everything to work perfectly. It can't be just you, but it can't be just, you know, all these other pieces. It can't be all them doing the work either. You need to do your part as well. And then in time, everything will work out smoothly. And, you know, that little cuckoo will pop out and tell us it's time. So I do feel that for a lot of you, it's kind of letting you know to be a little bit more patient with yourself, with those around you, with all those little, you know, remember that there's, you know, 100 little cogs that have all got to work in synchronicity here. And, you know, you're just one of many little cogs that are all sort of falling into place. So, you know, once everything's in the right place, it will be the right time. Okay, so it may just need a little bit of patience to get there. All right. We do have the book energy for you here as well. So the book really does let us know that, you know, looking at the story of your life, why you know, I'm sort of feeling here with that book energy, because it's the closed book here. Why are you so closed off to being the, you know, to reading the story of your own life here, to looking at where that you know, where the next chapter takes you? Why are you sort of closing off to the unknown? Why are you only allowing, you know, it's a hard energy here. It's like, because there's a new chapter trying to start for you here, but once again, with that hidden energy, I really do get that there's you're not allowing the emotions to come through. You're staying very, very closed off, and that's not going to get those cogs moving. All right, those cogs, like, it's kind of like I'm getting here that the emotion is the oil that lubricates all these little cogs. Okay, so these little cogs can't turn without that emotion and vulnerability, without you being ready to, you know, let people know who you are, what you've got to offer. Those little cogs can't turn here. But there's definitely new chapters potential here for this to work out, you know, in a much more unified way for you. We also have the cross coming through here. So as an advice, it does talk about you know, letting go of those burdens, allowing those burdens you've been carrying to be like, do you know what? This is part of my story. This is part of who I am. This is part of what I've had to deal with in this life. But instead of carrying them, you know, like that's my cross to bear, instead of allowing that to weigh me down and, you know, just be this heavy thing that I drag around, I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to put it in that book. That's part of my story, and I'm just going to move on and focus on that next chapter instead of allowing that to weigh me down. You know, this is all about having faith that everything is going to work out exactly how it is supposed to. You know, everything is going to fall into place for you here. Destiny has got your back, relying on the spiritual side of life. You know, that can talk about spiritual and religious stuff as well. So if you are spiritual or religious, maybe relying on that side of yourself a little bit more, having a little bit more faith in yourself on a spiritual level here, Gemini. It will really help unify these things for you. All right, so that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. But for now, we will move on over to Cancer. 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 What does Cancer need to know in regard to shadow work? Cancer and their shadow work. It's all about courage this month, Cancer. Having the courage. What do you need more courage for this month, Cancer? Are you trying to invest in something and that you need to be a bit braver towards making that choice, making the leap into the unknown a bit? Let's have a look. Cancer, what's going on for Cancer with their shadow work? Obviously, that card. Cancer, what's going on for Cancer with their shadow work, please? Love that you're sticking it to me, Cancer. Thanks, guys. I see it actually stuck to me for a reason, Cancer. Can I just get one more for Cancer and shadow work? Cancer and shadow work. Don't know why. I'm just feeling drawn to grab you a fourth. Yep, here we go. That's why. I love that fourth card for you too as well. But there we go. That first card that jumped out and stuck to my hair, we have the storm, the unexpected energy. Okay, something coming in like lightning, crashing into your life like lightning. That the next card we have, which is actually connected to that energy, it's assistance and spirit guides. Okay, so that's kind of straight away telling me, Cancer, that for a lot of you, there is something already that I'm going to be saying in your reading that is really, you're meant to hear this today, okay? Especially with that, it did come out like stuck to me. So it's kind of like for some reason, and it's very funny to me that it's Cancer, because Cancer, you guys are the ones that I always, there's been a few times now where you're the only sign that I've ever sort of reached out to in certain ways that, Cancer, if you want to talk more about this issue, email me and we'll talk about it and whatnot. I have offered that to Cancer a couple of times. So, I'm definitely picking up on a Cancer who needs to talk to me. So there may be, for at least one of you, it may be me specifically that you do need to get some advice and assistance from. And if you feel like that is you, like I said, feel free to email me, okay? But there's an unexpected assistance coming in, like help coming from somewhere unexpected that you wouldn't expect that assistance. So for some of you though, it's the storm itself that is the guide for where you're going next, because that storm, they are very sort of zesty and refreshing. All right, that after it's like the calm before the storm. You get this period of calm, then you get this crazy storm where everything goes blah, and the lightning's crashing, the thunder's going bang, and then all of a sudden it clears and you have this, everything has been washed clean and you can sort of start afresh. A lot of the time the storm, it washes all the muck from the river and it all goes downstream, and so everything's clear and refreshed after those storms. So sometimes we have these storms come into our life to clear out that debris. Get that dirt off the riverbank so that you don't have to deal with all that, that rotting leaves on the dirt on the riverbank there, Cancer. For some of you, it is letting you know that there is definitely, that there's a reason that this storm is coming into your life. This unexpected thing is happening for a reason. This is actually to provide you with assistance. It's like that. What's the saying where it's like, I can't remember, but it's like when, for example, if the spirit guides, it's like when the universe wants something in your life, the universe will make sure it's in your life. When the universe is trying to get a message through that is not supposed to be in your life, that storm will come on through, that lightning will crash and, burn that to pieces. And all of a sudden, bang, it's gone. So if it's meant to be, it's meant to be kind of energy. And I do feel as though there's something happening here, that there's this unexpected storm about to come here, it's actually for your greater good. It's really to assist you in the long run. We do have the ego and the vanity and pride card coming through here as well. So looking at, all I'm getting from this card today is looking in the mirror. Okay, there's a mirroring aspect coming through here of this is why you're needing to have courage. I feel we are seeing that courage coming through strongly. But I will get a few extra cards on this one specifically, because it's not really telling me much other than the mirroring aspect. It also does let us know too that sometimes that's the storm, is when like I mentioned at the very start of the video, that sometimes when something in our life or in our periphery triggers us, it's so that we are forced to look in the mirror and ask ourselves, why did that trigger me? Why did that set me off so bad? You know, is there something about me that I'm seeing as similar? Is that triggering me because it's a reflection of me myself? Or is that triggering me because of the way that I react to that? And there's something for me to learn within that. So there's something there that's being mirrored to you, that you're seeing something in somebody or in somebody's actions that you're kind of like, I feel like it's talking about you're seeing somebody's ego or somebody's vanity or pride as a bad thing, and it's triggering you a little bit to watch someone be so, you know, vain or prideful, have quite a big, you know, tickets on themselves or whatever, and it's triggering you. And you needing to ask yourself, why is that triggering me? What is it about that that's, you know, is there arrogance triggering me because I'm actually showing, like, because I'm actually arrogant myself, that kind of thing. So that's all I'm sort of getting from that. That other card we got the Action Beginnings card. It does have the word courage right there. So we're definitely seeing, look at how they're actually very similar imagery too. We've got the masculine here with the flame, and then we've got the masculine here with the flame. Okay, this one we've got the feminine in the background looking on, you know, and then in the background here we've got the fire looking on, okay, or the lights of the town, or it looks like it does look like just a bridge or something in the background there. So, but that imagery of the, you know, the two masculines with the flame, so that this, you know, they're taking the fire, they're taking action, they're bringing their passion, their desire, their ambition, they're going, that's it, I'm going to go out into the night and find the cause of this problem. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to have the courage to face this. I'm going to be brave and face the monster in the forest, you know, that kind of energy. You know, it does say action and beginnings. Okay, so there's something here that you are needing to take action on, needing to be a little bit more courageous about here, Cancer. But I'm going to delve into this a bit more for you. Advice for Cancer with their shadow work, please. Advice for Cancer with their shadow work. Okay. So, firstly, I've got the Scythe energy coming through here. The Scythe is all about sudden, unexpected changes. You know, having the courage to break free of things that aren't serving you anymore. There's that unexpected energy again that we saw with that Storm card. Unexpected changes, things happening quite suddenly. You know, I feel like this is you having the courage to take action, make the changes necessary to have new beginnings for yourself here. You know, you're kind of being the storm for yourself, I feel, for a lot of you, Cancer. What you're heading towards here, you're breaking free of anything that's holding you back from your dreams, all right? Because we have the stars coming through. So you're making some sort of change that is leading you to your true desires, your wishes coming true, you know, having hope and optimism for the future here. So you are sort of breaking free of anything that's holding you back, breaking free of a lack of courage, and finding the courage to make the changes necessary to truly follow your dreams, okay, to worry out for your own survival first and foremost, okay. That we have the Fox coming through, which is very independent energy. This is about you looking after you. You looking after your own survival, doing what you need to do, saying what you need to say in order to look out for yourself. All right. It's a very clever trickster kind of energy. Sometimes it can be read as being a bit of a player or playing mind games, but overall, especially when it's with that wishes card, it's all about following your own wishes. What is it that you are wishing for? Not what people expect of you, not what people want you to do, not any of that, you know, removing any ego, any vanity or pride of I've got to do this so that, you know, these people think this of me. No, acting out of your own interests, number one. Okay, the fox is coming through very strongly that you need to look out for yourself and yourself alone here, Cancer. You need to look out for your true desires and wishes. Take the courage to follow your star, wherever that leads you. Even if other people don't understand it, it does not matter. Okay, don't allow your pride to get in the way of taking the action towards following your true star, your true North Star here. Okay, so that's what we have for you today, Cancer. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. It might bring a bit of extra information to you as well. I'm just going to pause quickly and move on over to Leo. Okay, Leo, looking at Leo for shadow work. What does Leo need to know in regard to shadow work? Okay, flying it out at me. All right, so that first card we have for you, Leo, we have the family and tribe card there. Okay, so obviously as your main energy, your general energy there, we are looking at the sense of family, the sense of tribe, togetherness, belonging. Okay, but we'll delve into that a little bit more. We'll get some oracle on that. Okay, Leo, what does Leo need to know in regard to their shadow work? Has just sort of it's about to storm here too, so I'm hoping that I don't lose power or anything like that. Okay, so it's coming through with a very interesting message here, Leo, because the first card we do have is the reflection card, which does talk about projecting things onto others that you don't like within yourself. This mirroring effect does talk about, the reflection of yourself that you dislike within yourself, and projecting those qualities onto people around you, and really being triggered by those things in other people, and it's that projection energy where it's if you're looking at someone and you're seeing a bad quality in them, it's kind of a reflection upon you yourself that you may be seeing that quality within yourself, and trying to reflect that, deflect a little bit here too, that, oh, I don't have that quality, I don't have that quality, they have that quality, they have that quality, but not sort of taking the personal responsibility, not looking in the mirror at that particular quality within yourself. Okay, so with that family and tribe card, I do really feel though that this is specific for you, Leo, with somebody within your family or your close network here. So that's going to cover not only family but also the family, the tribe that you have made around yourself as well. So your friends, a lover, those kinds of things as well. The people that are close to you within your community. It may even just be acquaintances and that sort of stuff as well. But it's kind of really asking you to have a look here at, the qualities that you are focusing on within others, and why is that such a thing? Kind of, why is that triggering you so much when you see that quality within somebody? Why does that trigger you so much? Why does that particular behavior of that person trigger you? Is it because you are actually deflecting times in your life where you have displayed that same behavior? I'm kind of, because I am picking up a little bit of energy here on this deflection kind of thing, where you're really trying to, I don't want to say it in confronting ways here, Leo, but it's kind of like you're pointing the finger at people saying, oh, they do this, they did that to me, but you're not actually taking personal responsibility for your own behavior that maybe triggered that, or the way that's triggered you because of the fact that you're kind of deflecting and making excuses for when you've done the exact same thing. I'm not getting any clear examples here, but it's kind of that energy of so, sort of saying so and so is doing this, and someone will say to you, oh, you did that exact same thing. Why is it different for you, Leo? And I'm kind of getting this vibe of like excusing your own behavior, but not excusing it in others. So it's a very interesting thing. And for some of you, the reason that you're excusing that behavior within yourself has actually got to do with your family, your tribe. You're telling yourself that, you know, oh, when I did it, I was protecting my family. I was protecting my tribe. But you're not giving other people the benefit of the doubt with that, and not understanding that, hang on, maybe they are protecting their tribe and themselves in the exact same way that you were. So I know this is quite confronting to hear, but because it is asking you to, you know, face this darker side of yourself here, and you know, face some hard stuff where, you know, if there's, especially too, if there's anything in particular that, you know, has been upsetting you about other people's behaviors or things that people have done, and you kind of subconsciously, you know, that you have done that exact same thing or done something very, very similar, but there's this tendency to make excuses or have reason behind you doing it, but not actually seeing that there's valid reason behind these other people doing the exact same thing. Okay, so I know that that's a little bit confronting there, but the reason I'm sort of feeling the need to confront you on this issue here, Leo, is because of these next two cards, because we do see the seeds card here. So it's kind of letting me know that, you know, continuing this behavior is like planting the seeds for your future here. And what it's going to result in for you is this repression energy, the regret and repression. You're repressing this side of yourself, facing this stuff within yourself, and it's going to lead you to regret, because you may end up making decisions that, you know, because you're not giving the benefit of the doubt to anyone other than yourself here. It's kind of telling you that you are planting the seeds, and you're growing more problems from this. So it's kind of like if you face that before you actually you know, plant all these seeds, it's not going to get to that point where it's putting you into, you know, regret and then repressed emotion and things like that do end up becoming, you know, a bigger problem, because that's when we are going to see, you know, conflict and whatnot coming from that as well. So it's kind of just letting you know that you're starting to plant these seeds within yourself that, oh, it's fine, that's them, I would never do this, without realizing that, hang on, in certain situations you would do this. So it's really asking you to really examine, you know, when you're looking at other people's behaviors and looking at those behaviors negatively, or their words or whatever, when you're looking at those things negatively, to really actually be looking at that within yourself and why you're reacting to that so strongly, because, you know, you want to sort of cut that off before it grows into a full-blown issue for you here. But we'll grab some advice for you as well here, Leo. I'm sorry to be so confronting with you, Leo. I am a Leo rising as well, so you know, there's probably a part of me that does need to look at this same issue. I do generally, when I have uploaded the videos, I do actually go back through and watch my own placements. You know, so I'm sure there's probably something for me here as well, but so I get it, okay, and it is hard to face. But that's what shadow work is all about, facing the demon within you and sort of accepting that and doing what you can to, you know, plant those seeds in a much more fruitful manner where you're going to grow positive energy for yourself in the future, rather than, you know, the repression, the regret, the guilt, the shame, you know, the conflict in the future for yourself. Advice for Leo with their shadow work, please. Yeah, so we do firstly have the clockwork card here. Okay, and the clockwork card, it does have quite a few different meanings, but today it's actually, for you here, Leo, it is actually reminding me of the movie A Clockwork Orange. All right, so I don't know if anyone's seen that movie. It is quite an old movie nowadays. It was quite a a famous kind of movie because it was the Stanley Kubrick movie, and it was actually like a very interesting movie. The Simpsons have even done a little how they do things like the covers of the the skits of the movies. They have done A Clockwork Orange. You would know the episode because it's got Maggie with the little eyeliner with the little okay, so if you're a Simpsons watcher, thinking of that episode, all right, but I'm talking about the movie A Clockwork Orange, and there's a theme in the movie A Clockwork Orange of where these guys, they go and break into this person's house, and they do certain things to this family, this house, and so it talks about karma in a kind of really weird kind of way, because then, down the track, years later or whatever, after they've done all this traumatic stuff to this family, one of the guys, it's a dark and stormy night, and he has to go and ask for help, and he goes to some random house and asks for help, and then he doesn't even realize immediately, but he has gone to that house, and they kidnap him and do all this traumatic stuff to him, and so it's talking about the way that karma has a way of playing out long term, and this is what we're sort of seeing here with that clockwork card. It's kind of reminding you that you be careful of the seeds that you're planting now down here, because if you tarnish one of these cogs, it's going to have this ripple effect the whole way through all these other cogs, and by the time we get up to the little cuckoo might not pop out anymore. And the little cuckoo is what you're sort of wanting for your future here. You're wanting all this positive energy. You're wanting to manifest great things for yourself. But, if you're tarnishing one of the cogs down here, you may actually be damaging the pathways for this to actually get to this. So it's kind of asking you to make sure you're taking care of, oiling the small little cogs, all the little tiny parts of things, and sort of really, really, taking a look at these things so that you're not actually creating this karma type effect for yourself in the future in a negative way. So it is going back on that same thing, but it's asking you to think about, it's just sort of showing me in a different way here, showing me that movie, A Clockwork Orange. That if you it's kind of that energy of you get what you put out. So if you're putting out negative and you're saying, oh, they're horrible, they do this, they do that, but you're not actually standing there and taking personal responsibility for, I've done this, I've done that, you're creating this tarnished cog here, and everything has its little place, and you need to make sure you're taking care of yours. It doesn't matter if you've got your cog all good, it's up to this little cog to take care of this little cog and make sure they're doing the right thing, the right moral thing. You need to look after yourself, your family. You take care of your own before you worry about what everyone else is doing, kind of energy. And there is also a sense of time that comes through with this as well. It's talking, things sort of fitting into place long term. So with that once again, with that cuckoo clock, it's like, this first little cog might start moving at a certain time, but it's not until, an hour later that the little cuckoo actually pops on out. So things taking time to actually, there's lots of little things that need to fall into place here. And the best thing that you can be doing is making sure you're oiling your cog, you're, keeping it nice and fresh and clean and morally correct for your values, your family values, your you're doing the right by yourself here, not allowing yourself to deceive yourself in any way, because we do have that snake energy come through. So it does let us know that, don't deceive yourself. I'm kind of getting that it can talk about self-deception. So, if you can't look in the mirror and face the darker side of yourself, that you need to stop focusing on the darker sides of other people. If you can't focus on that within yourself a little bit here as well. It does also let you know to really follow your passion and your desire to be more, in touch with yourself, and your desire to grow and do better for yourself. Okay, so there is this desire coming through with that snake energy as well. The temptation to, have a good old bitch session, or a rant about this person did that and whatnot. The temptation is definitely there. So this is all about avoiding that temptation, so that you're not planting those seeds, that you're avoiding that temptation to deceive yourself about your own moral values and beliefs here as well. But then we do see the ship as well. So for some of you with the ship there, it may actually pay very well in your best interest to take some distance, put some distance between yourself and those people that you're struggling with this with. Taking a trip just in general. This can talk about physical travel. So for some of you, I do feel like you may just need to take a holiday, have a bit of a reset. Who can say no to a holiday if you are able to? That can always be in the form of, just taking the afternoon to yourself, going to the beach and sitting there in peace and quiet, and, doing a meditation or whatnot as well, but meeting other people halfway. All right, your advice is to, meet other people halfway with this ship. Start a new journey for yourself. Focus on your own journey rather than anybody else's, Leo. So I am very sorry to be so I'm kind of I feel like I'm rousing on you a little bit there, Leo. So I am sorry about that. It's all in the spirit of, self-growth, self-betterment. Like I did say, I do sit here and rewatch these readings and try to take them on board. Even when they're a little bit confronting, I do try to take them on board for myself as well. So, if I'm going to tell you guys to do it, I need to be able to do it as well. So, shadow work is definitely something that I do personally take on board quite a lot and try to strive to do better. No one's perfect though. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I do a great job at that every single day or anything like that, but you are more than welcome to check your other placements. I would suggest your moon sign being the full moon, but for now we're going to move on to Virgo. Okay, Virgo, what does Virgo need to know in regard to shadow work, please? Virgo. Pardon me, Virgo. We've had another change in weather over here, so it's playing havoc with my asthma. I've just had such a horrible week with allergies and asthma and whatnot. Say what you mean. Okay, so it does feel like straight away, Virgo, and then that's probably why all of a sudden my cough is coming back a little bit, my throat chakra blocking up a little bit there, having trouble communicating clearly what you actually, your intentions and what your true beliefs and intentions are here. Okay, Virgo, what does Virgo need to know in regard to shadow work? What does Virgo need to know in regard to shadow work, please? Whoa. Virgo, shadow work for Virgo, please. A few fall out for you there, Virgo. Oh, quite a few. Okay, so these two have fallen out together. So we have detachment, the cold card, okay, and that has fallen out on top of the facade and beliefs card. Okay, so straight away we're seeing that say what you mean energy coming through with this, that you are putting on a little bit of a cold front. I'm hearing here with that facade and the cold on the other card, that you're acting quite detached from your true beliefs here. You're trying to detach yourself from your beliefs and you're putting on this facade. You're not saying what you mean because you're kind of putting on this mask to show the world, I'm just detached from it all. I can You know, I'm not letting this attack me personally. I'm not allowing my emotions to get stirred up from these things. You know, that you're, it's definitely that masking type of energy, that you are sort of acting very cold and detached. You see, that's at the front. So that's actually hiding the beliefs, and we're seeing that it's a facade, and it's hiding your true beliefs, your true belief in yourself. You're not able to communicate this for some reason. You're really struggling to communicate your true self here, your true beliefs about things, your true. It's kind of like with the say what you mean. It's kind of like, I'm kind of getting here, Virgo, that you're kind of just going, yeah, I agree, whatever. You know, like whatever, yeah, I agree, whatever. But you're purposefully not contradictory. You're purposefully trying to avoid conflict, and that's actually, you know, making you seem very cold and detached. Even to your own self, like you kind of telling yourself that you're detached and I'm cold to these emotions, I'm cold to these beliefs, I just don't even care at the moment. Um, that kind of energy is what I'm getting here. I've also got here the feminine. Okay, and then that last card I've got is the balance card. Okay, which is all about balancing karma and justice. I'm also getting too, with that feminine card popping on out. This is the yin yang oracle. So you know that is really the divine feminine and masculine energy, and then we're seeing that balance coming through as well. So it's definitely talking about that yin yang, and needing to balance the feminine back into your yin yang. Okay, because what yang is feminine, I believe. It might be the other way around, but I'm pretty sure yin is masculine and yang is feminine. And so it's kind of asking you to rebalance that within yourself, that you're acting very masculine at the moment, because that cold, detached kind of energy, that is a masculine energy. That is I've got to control my emotions. I can't let anyone see what's really going on, because, you know, it's kind of that energy of you. It's like there's a circus going on inside me. It's like there's a storm of emotions. It's chaos all within me. And if I act cold and detached, no one else will see that. And but you're actually needing to get back in touch with the feminine, which is, you know, the side of yourself that is a little bit more emotional, is in touch with those emotions, doesn't allow them to control them, no, not at all, but actually nurtures them and understands that, you know, emotions are within us for a reason. Humans have emotions for a reason, whereas you're over here kind of saying to yourself, Virgo, I'm not a human, I'm a robot kind of energy. You're trying to say that to yourself, that no, I need to act like a robot, like none of this affects me, like it's not affecting my beliefs, that it's you know, I'm detached from my humanity, I'm kind of feeling for some of you here. And so you're really lacking communicating your more vulnerable sides, because you're lacking communication with that yourself. You're really needing to balance that back out within yourself, and get back in touch with your more feminine aspect. So regardless of your gender, we all have aspects of feminine and masculine within us. So it's that nurturing, loving, you know, all the sweet, fluffy kind of love type things, you know, growing energy. It's a very growing kind of energy. It's someone who's in touch with their emotions and can, you know, balance logic with the emotion, you know, and know that I feel this way about this, I feel this way about that, but, you know, logic has still got its place, and I'm balanced in acting from my head and my heart, you know. But if you're only acting from your head, you're actually missing out on quite a lot of the story. All right, because things like intuition come from feminine energy as well. So there's probably a strong part of you that is, denying your intuition at this time as well. So, really needing to balance that out within yourself. I'm not really getting anything flagging out specifically with the karma or the justice keywords on this card. It's all just about balance, all right? And it's kind of, if anything, it's just time for, if you want karma to stay in balance, if you want a sense of justice in the world to stay in balance for you here, that you are needing to focus on the balance side of that, and balancing out that feminine masculine, being able to communicate a little bit more clearly from emotions as well as logic for yourself here. Okay, but we'll get you some advice here, Virgo. Advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo with their shadow work. Okay, the hidden energy on the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun, which is the card of happiness, but it also does talk about personal revelations here, Virgo. So I do feel as though that's why you're probably trying to hide from your emotional self at the moment, because you know that as soon as you get in touch with your emotions, it's going to bring something up to the surface that you do need to address within yourself, and have some sort of, you're going to have some sort of personal revelations come through for yourself here. As your advice, we do have the dog energy first and foremost. So straight away, it's kind of screaming at me a little bit here, which is not very common with the dog energy, because it is, the card of friendship and loyalty and support and compassion. So it's usually quite a soft energy, but it's actually kind of screaming at me. It's just telling me, though, that be your own friend first is what it's trying to tell you here, Virgo, that you need to be a friend to yourself first. And in order to be a friend to yourself first, you need to, balance out that feminine. You need to, get yourself out of that detached energy, and drop the facade a little bit, and say what you actually do mean to yourself here. Stop covering. I'm kind of feeling. Remember to be loyal and compassionate, understanding and supportive to yourself first and foremost. Okay, because we do see the next two cards I've got, we've got the tree, which is all about self-care, self-growth, and then we have the rider. Okay, so it kind of feels that with this energy here, it kind of feels as though, the second that you actually put yourself, as important as the people around you, and you actually say to yourself, I want to be a better friend to myself, and I want to, be more loyal to myself and more compassionate towards myself, and start taking care of yourself, that we're actually going to see your health improving drastically. The rider does come in really quick. So I'm kind of feeling that for a lot of you, this is talking about, as soon as you start being a better friend to yourself, and caring for your own, self, looking after yourself, whatever that means for you. For some of us, it's just doing some meditations, having a nice little bath, buying yourself a nice chocolate or something, a treat, really just allowing yourself to be, and accepting yourself how you are, taking care of the person that is Virgo. You're going to actually start to see these personal growth coming in really quickly. I feel that this is like, it's going to hit you, like, once again, with that personal revelation that on the bottom of the deck there. It really is going to hit you quite quickly, and it's going to move things forward for you in a really lovely way. So overall, I do feel as though it's kind of it's all just going to make sense, like all of a sudden. It's going to be like a snap. It makes sense, and I'm going to drop this facade, and I'm going to move forward, and everything sort of balances out really, really well here. So it's all coming down to you making that choice to, be a bit of a better friend for yourself. Because I'm also getting here too that, if you wouldn't tolerate someone treating your friend, think about how you're treating yourself, Virgo. If you wouldn't tolerate somebody treating your best friend like that, why are you treating yourself like that? Would your best friend let somebody treat you like that? Well, you know, you're allowing yourself to treat yourself like that. So it's kind of like remove that facade and stop, you know, stop allowing yourself to treat yourself badly here, Virgo. All right, but you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. I am just going to quickly pause and then we'll move on to Libra. Okay, Libra. Libra. What does Libra need to know for their shadow work? Starting off with just a general sort of overview of topic for you, Libra. Libra for their shadow work, please. How teachable are you? Okay. That's a very interesting card energy, Libra, because it does ask you to question yourself. How teachable are you? How willing are you to learn lessons? Especially when it comes to shadow work, it is quite interesting because it does let us know that there may be something in you that is blocking you from actually learning lessons. Okay, or you're struggling with a particular lesson when it comes to your shadow work and looking deeper within yourself that you're needing to sort of face here. Asking you to question yourself on that. Are you allowing yourself to learn? Are you allowing yourself, you know, the best possible opportunities to learn? Are you, you know, what are your struggles when it comes to facing the lessons that life is trying to show you here? Okay, Libra, what's going on for Libra with shadow work? What does Libra need to know in regard to shadow work? Yeah, okay. So we are seeing, firstly, we're seeing stability, harmony, and flow. Okay, so what does it mean? I'm feeling the need to ask you a lot of questions here, Libra. What does stability, harmony, and flow even mean to you? What would that look like in your life? If you were to feel in harmony with your life, what would that actually look like for you in your situation? You know, are you happy to go with the flow of life? Do you feel, you know, stable in where you are, in who you are? Are you in harmony with who you are here, Libra? Because we do have the past card coming through, which does also talk about lack and suffering. All right, so I do feel as though for some of you, this is specifically what that lesson is that we're struggling a little bit here. There's something about, you know, past energy that you are struggling to learn the lesson. You know, you are only sort of feeling the suffering and the lack of that in your life, the lack of that thing in your life, you know, that whereas you're not actually learning the positive things from that suffering. Okay, it's kind of like it's that energy of you're only allowing you know, especially too with that stability card there. It's kind of like you're feeling stable in the suffering, and you're allowing the suffering of the past to be the heaviest thing about that. You're not actually allowing yourself to work through that grief and suffering there in order to actually start dealing with that past stuff. All right, so quite a lot of the time, this has got to do with, you know, some sort of trauma that you've been through in the past, you know, and trauma looks like a lot of things, guys. You know, trauma for one of us may be something, you know, absolutely devastatingly horrible, but trauma for others may be something, you know, what, you know, the example that always comes to mind for me is, you know, I broke a nail today, and you know, that is actually, you know, to me that's very upsetting because I really do love my long nails, because as you can sort of see that pinky nail there, super long, and then I broke that one next to it, which was it was just as long, and now I've got all these short nails, whereas I'm used to having all my nails this length. So that to me is a big deal. That was a big deal for me today. And I know to a lot of people that sounds like absolute rubbish. But, you know, suffering is different for different people. I'm not saying that that's something that is hugely suffering, that I'm seriously suffering from that or anything like that. I'm just sort of saying that as an example, that is actually, you know, that was a big deal for me today, that I broke one of my really good nails that was really nice and long. That, you know, trauma affects people differently. You know, if I broke a finger, I probably wouldn't care as much as breaking a nail. It's so stupid, I know, you know, but like, it's different things for different people. You know, some people get really upset about some things, and some people, you know, perceive the pain from other things differently to how you may. You know, that was probably the worst example I could think of, isn't it? You know, especially too, then comparing it to breaking a finger. That I'm being rather ridiculous there. Don't mind me, Libra. Where, you know, I'm crazy fairy, so, you know, we've got to deal with that sometimes, right? But I suppose maybe a better example is, you know, especially too with the lack, the lack keyword on that card. You know, lack. Growing up with poverty, lack in your life, where you you know, have grown up not knowing what it's like to be able to, you know, have a guaranteed food on the table every single day. You know, and if that's something that's carried through in your life, you would understand that. Whereas for other people, they just have zero understanding of what that actually entails. And so then, you know, if someone has not gone through poverty, lack in their life, if they were to deal with that, you know, as an adult, and all of a sudden they've got no food in the cupboards, and they don't know, you know, they don't know where to go and get food, or they don't know how to deal with that, you know, it's going to be much more traumatic. It is actually going to be much more traumatic for that person in that moment, that they've got no food on the table that day, than someone who's experienced that before. They've learned how to deal with that emotionally. Like, there's a whole nother kettle of fish when we're talking about, you know, childhood lack and things like that. You know, that's a whole nother level of trauma, right? But, you know, it's kind of one of them things where it's like the more trauma that you've been through, the more able to deal with more trauma you kind of are. It's one of them, you know, effed if you do, effed if you don't kind of situations. You know, so it's kind of, there's just something here. I've gone a little bit off topic there, but there's just something there, you know, that you are living in the suffering of that past event. I feel like for majority of you, it's a past event, or a lack of having something in your life in the past, and you're living in the suffering of that, rather than living in the lesson and being able to go, well, do you know what, if I've gone my whole life without that thing, you know, I can probably face a lot more, you know, I can face a lot worse than losing that one thing. You know, like if I've gone, you know, 10 years without being able to have food on the table every single day, surely I know I can go through another day without food, you know. So it's kind of that, rather than living in the suffering of it, it's just the way that you're looking at it. You're living in the lessons of it, of, you know, well, I know to do this and to go to the food bank or whatever, you know, I know I can go and ask these people to help me out. And whereas for someone who's never experienced that before, it's kind of like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And they, like, you know, it's a lot more traumatic in the moment for them. It's totally, like, I don't know why the example is going so haywire for me today. I'm sorry, Libra, but I hope that makes sense to you guys. And it's kind of, because well, you know, obviously that does say flow as well. So there's obviously something here disrupting this flow that's, you know, it's disrupting the flow for me of being able to sort of get out what I'm feeling here. But we do see the distance and retreat or time out. Okay, so there may be a need from you to, you know, put some distance between yourself and the past. Put some, you know, go on a retreat from that suffering and see what happens. All right, you know, that's already coming through as a bit of advice for you, but I will get a bit of extra advice for you. I feel like for you, Libra, the main focus of this message is to ask yourself about the way that you're learning lessons, rather than sitting in the pain. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? and focusing on the lesson side of things rather than, you know, the what happened, this happened, they did this happened to me, you know, rather than that victim mentality. It's asking you to look at, yeah, they did this to me. How do I move forward and make sure no one else can ever do that to me again? How can I, you know, what lessons can I learn about myself in order to make sure that I'm not encouraging that same thing to happen in my life ever again? How can I use the past as protection kind of thing, as a lesson, rather than to sit in that suffering? All right, but advice for Libra with their shadow work, please. Advice for Libra with their shadow work. Yeah, so, you know, I did say that that was coming through a little bit there as, you know, advice already, you know, creating some distance between yourself and taking a bit of time out, retreating there. We also do see the clouds and the magnifying glass. Okay, so it's asking you to, you know, look a little bit deeper at why you're thinking certain things, why you're, you know, overthinking certain things, why you're looking at things, you know, I'm sort of seeing the glass half empty. Why are you looking at the glass half empty and allowing your overthinking to, you know, create anxiety and stress for you, when you're only seeing the storm clouds? You're not seeing the beautiful fluffy clouds that allow that light to shine on through. It's asking you to look a little bit deeper, magnify within yourself, alternate view perceptions. All right, so looking deeper within all this, rather than looking at just the negative. Look deeper and be more objective, at what you're looking at here, you know, when it comes to looking at these past things, especially too with this snake energy, focusing on your true desires and passions, what you actually want to get out of life and what lessons you actually do want to learn here, following your passion and your ambition to, you know, better yourself and allow yourself to learn these lessons and not allow yourself to, you know, be sitting in self-deceit. Okay, that can talk about deceit. And the more that we're sitting in suffering, the more that deceives us into this victim mentality. All right, so don't allow yourself to sit in the victim mentality. With that snake energy, we want to find other ways around that. We don't just want to look at things just, you know, from this viewpoint. We want to look at it, you know, be like a snake and slither on around that negative thought and come at it from a different direction. All right, so it's a bit of a mixed bag for you, Libra. I honestly, I'm sorry that came out so convoluted for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements. I would suggest your moon placement, being that it is the full moon reading today, so that may definitely have something for you in that. Leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for that free personal reading as well, but for now we'll move on over to, oh, what do we got? Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, how are we? Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know for their shadow work? Scorpio, shadow work for our Scorpio. Okay, shadow work for Scorpio. Letting go, Scorpio. You can sort of see here that all these ghosts in the cemetery behind this feminine energy here. Letting go of the ghosts of the past. What ghosts are haunting you, Scorpio? What do you need to let go of here? Shadow work. Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know for their shadow work, please? I also keep getting drawn to, there's like, I don't know if you can see in the wall behind her here. It's like a cross. It's like a Celtic cross. That feels important. It'd be interesting to see, because I'm pretty sure that the cross we see in this Lenormand deck I'm using is also a Celtic cross. So I feel like there's this sense of accepting destiny, Scorpio. Having faith that you can let go of this, that if you do let go of this, that it's going to be okay. It feels like you're holding on to something because you're afraid to let go of it. You're kind of like, oh, well, it's better the devil I know. Shadow work for Scorpio, please. I'm like, I always like just stare off into space, so I'm sorry about that. It's like it's kind of when I'm getting messages there. A lot of the time, it looks like to you guys, I'm just like staring off into space. Yeah, so straight away, this is what we're needing to let go of, Scorpio. We have the toxicity card. Okay, patterns and bound are the keywords on that one. All right, so what is binding you? What is holding you back? What have you not let go of that is kind of, chaining you in place here? It's some sort of toxic energy, a toxic pattern, very likely from your past. I'm also feeling that for a lot of you, it's very likely to do with love as well. Some sort of toxic pattern that you have found yourself in when it comes to love. You're feeling kind of chained to that pattern. But, when we do see any chains, you have the power to break those, okay? No chains can hold me. You can choose to let go of those chains. They're not actually binding you externally. It's you that is binding yourself here. We do see too the fist imagery in this card. So it does make me feel like there's a lot of anger within you here, Scorpio, and needing to let go of that anger as well. All right. So it's something to do with something toxic from your past. I do feel as though it's a specific thing that you are probably going to know exactly what we're looking at here. I do feel for some of you, this is a relationship, a person that you may feel bound to that person, somehow. You may just be feeling, that that's part of a pattern for you within love. You're trying to, there's something though where it's kind of like you're holding on to that because, you're binding yourself to that pattern because better the devil that pattern. You know how that works. You know how to play that game. But, I feel like there's this deeper part of you that doesn't want to play this game anymore and wants to, let go of all that toxicity and be free. I'm feeling freedom coming through here. We do have the balance card as well, which is all about karma and justice. So straight away with that balance energy, I'm kind of feeling here that it's asking you to believe that karma will find justice for you. Okay, you don't need to. You're not. I'm feeling that there's this energy coming through here where part of the pattern is that you feel like you need to be the one to control the justice and karma of this situation, that you need to come down with judgment and justice for this situation, and you need to be, I'm kind of getting, the idea of like petty revenge, just revenge in general, like slashing someone's tires, all that sort of stuff is coming through that karma card. But it's kind of letting us know that, the universe wants to balance that out. And the more that you're involving yourself in being the judge, jury, and executioner here, Scorpio, that the more that's binding you to that toxic pattern. And it's asking you to let go of being, needing to control the karma and justice of this situation and allowing the universe to balance that out, because the universe wants to come in and play the role of judge, jury, and executioner all by itself. Okay, so it's kind of asking you to step back, let go of needing to involve yourself in this situation. You don't need to go and slash someone's tires. I'm kind of getting this energy like, because I keep getting that as an example, so I'm feeling like there's at least one of you out there that's exactly what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to go and slash somebody's tires, and but just be aware that if you were to actually go and do that you are binding yourself further to this toxic energy. And then you're becoming the toxic one in a way there, Scorpio. So you need to let go of your need to, provide justice to this situation. And then I'm kind of getting sort of told here that as soon as you let go of that control and you're like, okay, that's it, I'm going to let the universe has got my back and the universe is going to take care of it for me. And you kind of make that conscious choice to let go of that and you start moving away from that toxic energy, just full stop, saying that's it, I refuse to allow this pattern, I refuse to allow this toxic energy at all, I don't need to lower myself to that same level. And then you decide that, and then a couple of weeks later someone rings you and says, oh, did you hear so-and-so, they this and this and this happened, and then their tires got slashed, and I feel like it's gonna happen anyway, and you don't need to be the person that does it. It's kind of like I'm getting like they're literally gonna drive over a nail or something, and their tires are gonna pop. So it's gonna happen by itself. Like, it's just going to have this weird karma happening here, that whatever it is that you're kind of, because you've kind of already manifested this, I think is what's going on here, that you've gotten to the point where you have actually manifested this happening for this person, but it's kind of asking you to step back and let go of needing to actually be the one to bring justice to this person or situation, because it's not going to balance out if you keep involving yourself with that energy. It's going to actually going to bring karma back on your butt if you do that. Okay, so just let it go. Like, I know it's hard. I'm not going to lie, I've been very tempted to go slash someone's tires in the past, but I haven't actually done that one. But I've done some pretty horrible stuff in my time, out of, a weird sense of justice or vengeance, or, revengeance, or, if karma's not doing anything to you, I will, that kind of thing. I've done some pretty shady shit. We all do things, but no one's perfect, guys. But it's kind of asking you to step back and be the bigger person here for your own sake. All right, because we do also see self-love. Okay, and from here on out, being very careful with your intentions. All right, because we see intentions there and creation. All right, so you're creating and manifesting this revengeance anyway. So, if you want to love yourself and you want to face your shadow side, you need to let go of that revengeance. I keep getting that same word. I think it was a Danny Trejo movie where I've heard that. Anyway, I love Danny Trejo. He's awesome. But if self-love, it's all about letting go of those mean negative intentions, because you're manifesting here big time, and whatever you're intending, it's getting out there into the universe. It's just letting go of that a little bit, so that you can actually rather than focusing on somebody else, because right now all your creation energy, all your intention energy, it's going into them. They're taking that energy. It may be happening in a negative way, and it may be slashing those tires, but they're getting that energy. Where's the energy for you, Scorpio? All right, you need to save all that. Start putting that creation into. Scorpio needs to make some more money, or Scorpio needs to, hit this goal, or Scorpio needs to find someone that's actually genuine, not toxic. Scorpio needs to break that pattern. So think about the way that you are, putting your intentions out there, and start focusing on intentions for yourself rather than giving that energy away to others. All right. Advice for Scorpio. Advice for Scorpio with their shadow work, please. Advice for Scorpio with their shadow work. Yeah, it's not an easy path, Scorpio. We do have the mountain coming through. So that's kind of letting us know that there has been some delays. You know, it is feeling like there's some obstacles and delays on your path here. But when we do see that mountain, it does let us know that with a little bit of determination, perseverance, you know, it's basically telling us that, you know, it's okay to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That, you know, sometimes you will try to climb that mountain and fall down a few pegs and then have to climb that same section back over again. Sometimes you do fall into that toxic pattern, and it's all about getting yourself back up and keep on climbing, you know, showing that perseverance that and determination that, do you know what, no matter what obstacle you chuck in my direction, I'm going to get over that and I'm going to move past that and I'm going to do better than that. You know, so, and at the top of the mountain, you can see your way clear. Everything opens up, and, you know, the world is your oyster once you're at the top of that mountain. It's just going to take a bit of hard work. All right. I feel like it's just that it's going to be constant effort to let go. It's not something that you can be like, oh yeah, I'm going to let go of that, and then all of a sudden, bang, you've done it. You're all good. No, it is going to take a little bit of determination here. We do see the owls coming through. So the owls here, we do have the birds split up in this deck in between the owls and the birds. So the owls does talk a lot more about using your wisdom. Be smarter about it, Scorpio. Be a little bit smarter about this, okay? Stop allowing yourself to bind yourself to this negative energy. You're perpetuating the toxic cycle by, you know, involving yourself with this energy at all. All right, you need to, once again, sit down and have a big, deep old chat with yourself. This does talk about conversations. So I do feel that for some of you, this is a conversation that you do need to sit down and have with yourself, you know, over and over and over again. You know, it may be something that you do need to come up with, like some sort of personal affirmation. You know, something that has helped me when I've been in that sort of thing is to literally leave post-it notes for yourself on your wall. You know, so positive affirmations of, I am going to do this, you know, rather than saying, I am not going to go slash someone's tires, leave yourself a post-it note saying, today I choose happiness. Today I choose positivity. You know, and having that conversation with yourself, you know, over and over and over again until you're able to let go of the negative elements there. Because we do see the mice energy there as well. So the mice energy does let us know that, you know, it's a hard one because it does talk about accepting the loss, allowing the stress, you know, but it's kind of something that keeps you up late at night and you know, eats away at your energy a little bit here. So it's reminding you that, you know, that toxicity is eating away at your energy the more that you're allowing it to. It's about moving that out of your life altogether and accepting the loss. All right. So the mice does sort of come through as loss, and when the mice is you know, coming through in advice, it does sort of let us know that we do need to, there's something about this loss that we need to accept. And sort of, and go, do you know what? Yeah, they were toxic. They were horrible. You know, even if I have to, you know, I'm going to miss out on XYZ because of this, I'm just going to let it go because it's not worth it to me. Like, it's kind of that thing of like, you know, if someone steals $100 off you, maybe it's worth spending $100 to show you who doesn't deserve to be in your life. You know, maybe it's worth the $100 and just let it go and let them keep it, because now you know what that person is like and that they're going to steal $100 off you. Maybe it was worth it. Maybe it was money well spent. It's kind of that sort of energy that, you know, sometimes you know that it is probably going to keep you up, and it's going to, you know, continue to eat away at your energy if you let it. So it's needing to accept the past and leave the past in the past a little bit here as well, Scorpio. So I know that's a bit of a harder message for you there, Scorpio, but you are more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. But we'll move on over to Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius, how are we? What does Sagittarius need to know for their shadow work, please? Sagittarius. Wanting a good shuffle there, Saggy. Sagittarius and shadow work. What do they need to know? Ooh, inner child, Sagittarius. Was it you who got this inner child energy during the weekly readings? Maybe not. I feel like it was maybe Virgo. Inner child. Something to do with your inner child needing to be protected a little bit more here. Allow the inner child out of yourself a little bit more here, Sagittarius. Right, we'll have a look here. Okay, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know for their shadow work, please? Sagittarius. Shadow work for our Sagittarians. Okay, so very interesting reason why you're needing to allow your inner child out, because, you know, the inner child does talk about that sense of freedom within you, the innocent parts of yourself, you know, the sweet, loving, you know, I can grow up to be whatever I want to be. I'm ready to take on any adventure, that kind of childlike existence where, you know, looking around the world around you and everything is like, wow, amazing. That's so cool. I didn't know that. You know, it's all about learning and experiencing. Asking you to let that out a little bit here, Sagittarius, because we are seeing celebration, gifts, and abundance. Okay, so it's coming through pretty strongly here that rather than having set shadow work for you this month, we are sort of asking you to, you know, because shadow work is looking at the darker sides of yourself. Whereas here, what's going on for you at the moment, Sagittarius, is you're not seeing the lighter sides. You are like too stuck in the dark. You're not allowing the brightness, the light to come on through, the happiness. Why are you blocking your own happiness, Sagittarius? Why are you telling yourself you don't deserve gifts, abundance, celebration? You know, there's messages trying to come through here for you. It's like the universe is trying to give you a gift at the moment. And that gift is really, you know, you being playful and you know, adventurous and willing to take on anything, willing to see the happiest things in the smallest things. You know, like going outside and looking at a bug crawling across the floor and seeing the wonder in that, rather than going, ew, a bug. You know, you're kind of wanting to embrace the childlike nature within yourself, because the universe is here trying to get through to you, because we do have the Mercury energy here, that message in a bottle card, which does talk about messages, travel, communication. The universe is trying to communicate with you here, trying to show you that life has gifts for you if only you would open your eyes to see them. Life has wonder and amazing things for you, Sagittarius. There's reasons for you to celebrate. Even if the only thing you're celebrating is, woo, I got out of bed this morning. Like, effing celebrate that, Sagittarius, because, you know, even the smallest little positive things in our life, you know, deserve to be celebrated, and you deserve to be able to celebrate those things, no matter how small. All right. We all also see the alchemy ancestor guides card. So there's definitely a spiritual message trying to come through to you here. Rather than give you set advice, I just want to delve into that a little bit and ask what that message is that you want Sagittarius to hear. What's that message for Sagittarius, please? What is the message for Sagittarius? I do feel as though it's that message in the bottle, that gift that you're not seeing. Okay, we've got the stork coming through. The stork does talk about stirring up brand new energy for you. Things are getting stirred up for you here. I'm once again feeling very dependent on this inner child energy, allowing your inner child out. You know, trying to think about things in a much more innocent way. You know, like I said, that sense of adventure, that everything is, oh, it could be amazing, regardless of what reality says. Looking at life as though this could be amazing, and looking for the beauty in even the smallest things. That's what that stork energy is all about. So it's about stirring up that new energy within yourself. You know, new ideas on how to, you know, release your inner child, get in touch with your inner child. New ideas coming through on how to celebrate yourself. All right, we do have the fox energy. The fox energy, as you know, as this message here, it does talk about, you know, I'm seeing the next card is the tree as well. So both of those cards do sort of ask you to focus on yourself quite heavily here. So with that inner child card, and then, you know, and then these two cards, we are seeing that, you know, spirit is asking you to focus on yourself quite heavily. Focus on your own survival, you know, saying what you need to say to yourself to be able to look out for yourself first and foremost. All right. The fox energy, it's like when a fox is hungry, they will travel miles and miles to, you know, break into someone's chicken coop. They don't care if they're breaking into somebody's chicken coop. They're looking out for numero uno, okay, which is what you need to be doing here. That you're looking at that chicken coop going, oh, that's an awesome gift. I'm going to celebrate because, look, there's food on the table. Don't be, you know, tell yourself what you need to in order to look out for you, number one. And then we do have the tree energy, of course, which does talk about self-care in order for your self-growth to continue. So once again, looking after yourself first and foremost here. So taking a spa day, you know, go and have a relaxing bath, doing little things for yourself in order to celebrate yourself. Okay, so we're really seeing the focus on you yourself here, Sagittarius, and needing to sort of allow that beautiful child within you to come on out. So I'm kind of feeling for some of you, you know, go to the park, go on the swings, climb a tree, do something childlike to really allow yourself to just, you know, experience freedom and that, you know, self-care in that sort of sense as well, doing something specifically to allow yourself to, you know, be free and wild and carefree, careless. I don't know. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. I'm just going to pause for a quick drink and I'll be back with Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to be aware of for their shadow work? Capricorn, shadow work for Capricorn. Oh, this is a hard one, Capricorn. We have the victim consciousness card coming through here. That energy is all about asking yourself, why are you playing the victim? Are you stuck in some sort of victim consciousness where, you know, you're allowing yourself to only see yourself as the victim rather than, you know, I'm not saying that you're not the victim. It's kind of that sort of energy where you very well may be, but it's kind of like you're allowing that to be the pervasive energy that, you know, that seeing yourself as the victim is allowing you to perpetrate the belief within yourself that it's all their fault, all fault of something external to you. You know, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that I've had such a horrible life. It's not my fault that they did this, they did that. You know, the victim consciousness mindset, it's coming through. You know, I am feeling though that for a lot of you, you genuinely are the victim here, but it's asking you to allow that to not be the controlling factor for you and to be looking at the way that you're perceiving this victimhood, and not allowing you, rather than looking at yourself as the victim, looking at yourself as the survivor. I wasn't a victim to that. I survived that. It's a very interesting energy, but we'll have a bit more of a look here. Okay, Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know for their shadow work? Shadow work for Capricorn, please. Too many. Shadow work for Capricorn. Well, that was 2, and 1 more for Capricorn. Shadow work for Capricorn, please. Oh, wow. Okay. So interesting, Capricorn. We're getting a very spiritual message. Quite often I do get quite spiritual messages for you, Capricorn. Firstly, we've got the higher self activation card coming through. So this is asking you to, really look at this mindset within yourself, because, I'm kind of feeling for a lot of you here, Capricorn, that this is one of the last steps into your personal activation, into, accessing a deeper level of your higher self here, really asking your higher self, am I the victim of this, or am I the survivor of this? Am I just allowing myself to only see the negative implications that situation had on my life, that person had on my life, or am I allowing myself to actually see the lessons and the opportunity for growth that gave me? All right, something very interesting here about activating your higher self. We do also have here, these two actually came out together, and I know for a fact that they were not together, before. I've shuffled a few times here because I have had one of these cards for one of the other signs, and it had no trace of this first card with it. All right, so the first card we've got is family, home, and commitment. We also have the unexpected storm. That was, they came out like, I thought it was one card initially. They came out like that. And it wasn't until closer inspection I did realize there's that storm behind that family. Okay, so whatever this issue here is, this family, home, commitment, this is the root of the issue. This is where, there has been some sort of, storm front that has come in, and it's, for a lot of you, it may have been very unexpected to have this and be the victim of this family issue, this commitment issue in your life. And it may have actually, propelled you into this storm in your life here, Capricorn. The interesting thing about the storm energy is that it, a storm comes through and it actually brings through cleansing. It replenishes and cleanses. So it's a very interesting energy. It's kind of that energy of, sometimes we need the storm in order to appreciate the calm after the storm, in order, for the, when a storm comes through and all of a sudden it washes away all the, all the dirty muck down the sides of the river, all the leaf litter, it gets washed away in the storm, goes down river, all the dirt and clunky, gross energy out of your life, gets washed away, gets cleansed from your energy here. And this is really what we're seeing with this, the victim consciousness. It does sort of seem to be something to do with this, like the basis of this, that there is something about this issue within your family, your home, or your commitment that has sort of, you've gotten to this point where you're looking back at that only as a victim, not as a survivor. I just keep getting that same example, the victim versus survivor way of thinking about that. I'm not going to lie here, Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn myself, and it is, immediately bringing to light a certain situation within my own life where it's kind of like, I know that, with the commitment and the family and the home, I know exactly what that situation is in my own life. And I can guarantee you, when that storm hit, it changed everything. Okay. it was a storm that I had to endure the storm in order to get through the other side of that storm. And it really did. There was a lot of higher self-activation that came through with that. It's kind of like there were sides of myself that I'd never seen came through with that. It's a deep one, Capricorn. I feel for a lot of you that this is some deep, deep stuff. And for some of you, this is rooted in family issues from a long way back. All right, you may feel as though you're the black sheep of the family. I keep getting given examples from my own personal experiences here, because I do, anyone that has been sort of watching the channel or does know me in my personal life does know that when I was quite young, I've had quite a lot of issues, with my mother. So, family has always been a bit of a storm for me in the past. I've had some traumatic stuff happen in my childhood and my early adulthood that has made family issues very, very rough, I suppose. I'm not going to lie. Like there is the temptation for me to feel like I've been the victim in a lot of those situations. And I'm not going to lie, I have been the victim in a lot of those situations. But it's also that recognizing that you survived that, and that's made you who you are. And, like if you didn't weather that storm, you would not be who you are now. You would not have, it's kind of one of those things that it's unfortunate, but in order to activate your higher self, a lot of the time it involves trauma, and it involves, some really rough stuff, having to get through some really negative feelings and emotions and circumstances, experiences. Experience is something that, even if you're the victim in that experience, and like I'm saying here, I feel like a lot of you are. Pardon me. I do feel like that's genuinely, you have been the victim of circumstance here. Because, we have no choice what family we're born into. We have no choice in that family dynamic. We have no choice in how other people within that family interact with us growing up and whatnot. That's beyond our control. But the experience of that really, really, someone who's been through traumatic, experiences, they have seen a lot more in life than people who haven't gone through experiences. There's something to be said of, everyone's always talking about experiences, like, oh, in my life, I want to experience this, because we've all got these, like, goal experiences of, like, I'd love to travel here and do this and have the experience of being, a billionaire and all this sort of stuff. But people don't talk about, you don't learn as much from those positive experiences in your life as what you learned from the hard ones. And if you go through, imagine if you went through your life with zero experiences. And it's like that idea of where, you might have read 1 million books on a subject, but you don't actually, you may have read every single manual on how to do the job of a specific job. It's not until you're thrown in the deep end and you've got to do the job that you actually, it's not until you live that experience that you can fully understand and immerse yourself in that experience and understand it from the point of having the experience under your belt. So, it's a hard one, Capricorn. It's asking you to really look at these things, and how, I'm kind of feeling there is an energy here of allowing that to activate you in a higher way, and, allowing yourself to appreciate those experiences, those lessons that you've learned, and experience experience them all over again in the mode of the survivor. When you went through those things, you were the victim. You can experience them again now that you may have dealt with these things a long time ago, all right? But now that you have dealt with these things and faced all those hard emotions and what not to do with those things, it's time to experience them as a survivor of those things. I'm hearing here that there's a Capricorn that needs to write a book about your experiences, that there's someone that needs to release this in that way. Let me know in the comments if that's you. Because I am getting that there's someone that needs to write the book. Someone's been thinking about writing a book about their experiences, and it's just coming through. Go write the book. I just keep hearing, write the book, write the book. So whoever that's for, that's your confirmation that go ahead and do that. That's even if it doesn't do anything, in an external level, it's going to do something big for you yourself. Because the other card we have fate, detours, divine intervention. Once again, we're seeing that storm energy, the lightning hitting the tree. The tree is you and your self-growth. Okay, so it's like that needed to happen to bring you to this higher self-activation, to bring you to your own fate, your own divinely guided place that you need to be in your life, Capricorn. It's a deep message here, Capricorn. Like I'm saying, it is very touched by fate that, this was sort of fated to be part of your life, for you to experience these things specifically so you can activate your higher self, so that you can be a higher elevation, a higher evolution of the person that you are. Okay, so some of you have already definitely hit that higher activation already, and it's all about, continuing that journey. Whereas others of you may be finding that lightning has only recently struck as well. But we're going to get some advice here for you. That one flew out, but it doesn't feel like advice. Yeah, it's just clarifying that message further. We have the coffin flying out there. That's the things that have ended, death and rebirth. The version of yourself that experienced those things is not the version of yourself now. Okay, you have been reborn into this higher version of yourself. There's a total death of that victim consciousness within you, and it's creating this brand new beginning, this brand new rebirth of a brand new version of yourself. All right, so ultimately it's actually a really beautiful message here, Capricorn, but it is feeling very, very deep. Okay, Capricorn, advice for Capricorn with their shadow work, please. And as always, Capricorn, your reading goes longer than everyone's, right? We have the bear energy. We have the lily. And we have the crossroad. Okay, so your advice here, boundaries. Stand strong. Be firm in your boundaries. Standing strong and powerful and nurturing of yourself, which is going to mean you need to have your boundaries firm. Don't let anyone cross those boundaries, Capricorn. You are the bear. Or I always do read this as a Capricorn card anyway, because Capricorns are so strong and powerful all by themselves. So they do really emulate a bear energy. The bear is like, the boss of the woods, and if you get too close to them, they will rip your face off. They're very nurturing and protective of their cubs, of their patch of land, of their whatever. They'll stand up on their hind feet when they need to, so that they can show you how strong and powerful they are. They are the boss bish of the animal kingdom. All right, so emulate that bear energy. You are the boss of yourself here, Capricorn. Really emulate that and have those boundaries nice and firm, especially when it comes to the way that you're thinking. Every time you notice yourself lapsing into, oh, I can't believe this happened to me. oh, I can't believe I had to go through that, and this happened, and they did this to me. Put that boundary up against yourself as well, and really making sure that you're committed to yourself and this activation of your higher self here, that this has happened for a reason, and that we're talking survivor. We're not talking victim anymore. We're talking survivor for your longevity, being very vulnerable and intimate with yourself, with that lily energy here. We also do see that this is long-term changes. This rebirth of you is long-term, okay? It's going to get you where you need to go in the long term. But we also do see a decision, a choice coming up for you, Capricorn. For some of you, this is merely just the conscious choice to, continuously choose over and over again. I choose to be the survivor, not the victim of circumstance here. For others of you, this is something else. There's something, it's an important choice that's coming up. It hasn't happened yet, Capricorn. For a lot of you, I need a clarity on that one, because that's a different message altogether coming through. Clarify the choice for Capricorn. It is sort of saying ultimately you are on the right path. You are heading towards the right path one way or another. Clarify the crossroads for Capricorn. What is that message you're trying to tell me? Clarify the crossroads for Capricorn. What is that side message, please? What is that choice in regard to for Capricorn? Okay, interesting. We have the snake and the masculine. For some of you, this has got to do with that commitment issue, family issue. It's feeling more along the lines of like because the snake can talk about desire, passion, ambition, all right, and the masculine energy here. So for some of you, this choice or decision is about a specific person and having to choose, do you follow your passion towards this person? Do you have a strong desire, a temptation to go towards this person, to deal with this person? And for others of you, that may be a work thing for some of you here too, where it's like your ambition, choosing to head towards it's a controlling, dominative kind of energy. I don't know if a lot of you are going to choose this. What's the alternate option? What's the alternate choice for Capricorn here? This is sending me on a little needle in a haystack. And outcomes of each of those choices, please. Outcomes of each of those choices. I kind of would say avoid the temptation to go with this masculine. Because for some of you, this is an actual masculine that you're very tempted, because you've got a lot of desire and passion towards this masculine. I feel like it's a love situation for a lot of you, because that can be physical intimacy here. So for some of you, it's like literally talking about making the choice to, if you're going to go and hook up with this masculine, if you're going to allow this masculine in your energy in that sense. That leads to the hedge maze, leaving you confused, stuck, kind of lost in the maze kind of energy. So I kind of do feel as though that might not be the best decision to give in to temptation here. There may be a deceitful energy coming through with that masculine. And for those of you where it's a job thing, it's like you're tempted to take control, but it's once again, it's going to lead to further confusion. The best choice to make here, we've got the alternate choice as the dog energy, being loyal to yourself, being understanding and compassionate, following loyalty and friendship and companionship over physical desire. All right, taking a chance, taking a gamble on yourself, taking a gamble on friendship aspects, companionship, loyalty, understanding. All right, that's the outcome with that. That you it's still going to be it's high risk, high reward. I'm hearing too, high risk, high reward. That for you personally, a lot of you, the best choice is to stay loyal to your true values here and stay loyal to what you're wanting for your future here, because we did have that lily coming through, that making the best choice for your longevity rather than what's going to knock your socks for the short term. The snake is a bit more short term there, because that's going to lead you to further confusion, getting lost in that maze a little bit more. Whereas staying loyal to your true values, once again, those boundaries, having those boundaries up, it may feel like you're taking a bit of a gamble by missing out on that temptation there, but it is in the long run, it high risk, high reward. All right, so that's going to mean different things for everyone. That was just a bit of a side message. That was sort of, I've got a few of those coming out for you today, Capricorn. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. All right, it being full moon, I would suggest checking your moon sign energy. There may be something important for you in that one as well. I have just recently uploaded the advice to achieve goals reading as well. So if you scroll back a few videos, you'll see that one. I highly recommend it, even though they were really, really short, quick little messages. We all know Capricorns do love some good goal setting, so I really would suggest checking that one out as well. You're more than welcome to leave a comment and go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. But we'll move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know for their shadow work? Oh my goodness, Aquarius. We've just had a storm come through, but it is still so hot. You probably can even see that I'm like sweating a little bit here. It is super hot. Even though it's like there's been a storm. Like crazy. Okay. Although it was like nearly 40 degrees today, which I've worked out that's like nearly 100 Fahrenheit if you're someone watching from America. So that's pretty standard over here. Not gonna lie, but like that's what I've noticed when I went to Bali. I did notice Australia is hot. It is dry hot. When I went to Bali, it was very humid. It was the same temperature, but it didn't actually feel as hot. It was more humid, sticky heat, whereas there's something about the dry heat. It feels like it's, burning you just to step out into the sun. The heat hits different in Australia, guys. So I don't know what would be comparable in the States. Maybe out in the middle of, the outside of Las Vegas, is it? Where, the desert and all that. That's probably comparable, but it's been hectic the last few days. It's been, so hot and then so like raining, and it's like crazy. Aquarius. Sorry, I've been on a few different tangents today, Aquarius. You've got to forgive me for that, right? We do have take off your mask. What are you hiding behind? What you're putting up a front, you're putting on a facade, putting on a mask, hiding from yourself a little bit here, Aquarius. What are you hiding from yourself? Okay, Aquarius, shadow work for Aquarius, please. Shadow work for our Aquarians. Okay, so this is actually this is actually something that's coming up for you, Aquarius. And the reason we're seeing that take off your masks, this is, you're the first reading I've had where, you know, I don't know that I'm going to have to, you know, use the lenormand for you, Aquarius, because rather than being actual shadow work, I'm seeing advice. I'm seeing this is how it should go. This is what you need to do. This is what's going to happen. And it's like a progression. I don't know that I'll pull some extra lenormand for you anyway, but I am seeing here that this is the main advice, because this is the general overview for you, the take off the mask. It's telling you that, you know, you're going to have to drop the act because something is going to happen. All right, I can tell you straight away what's going to happen. Okay, I can see already what's about to happen in your life, Aquarius, and it's like a preemptively telling you that you need to be prepared to lower your shield and you know, take the mask off. Don't put on a facade. Don't put on a mask. Don't act like, oh, this is fine, everything's fine. Don't be doing that. This is something that you're going to need to be very open and honest and very clear and vulnerable with your true feelings, your true self, when this occurs, all right? Because what we're seeing, we have the Mercury card, which says messages, travel, and communication, all right? So there is a communication coming. The communication, apology, and forgiveness, all right? So we have the apology. There's an apology coming, a message of apology, communication regarding a apology. I wonder if this is you or them. I'm getting, hang on, I'll clarify that. Is this Aquarius apologizing, or who is apologizing? Who is apologizing? Oh, that's interesting. What is the apology in regard to? What is the apology in regard to? Okay. Interesting. I'll show you the bottom of the deck here as well. The hidden energy I've got the heart, then the mountain, the bridge, and the flowers. Okay, so we're seeing love, obstacles, needing to cross a bridge in order to give and receive. All right, needing to climb a mountain, cross an obstacle, cross a bridge. You know, burn your bridges behind you, but needing to get to this forgiveness, giving energy, coming from a loving space. So for a lot of you, this could have to do with actual romantic love. It also could be unconditional love, like platonic love. It can also be very strongly, for a lot of you, this is love for yourself as well, all right? Because the person that is needing to apologize is you, to yourself. This is the card of self-care, self-growth. You need to apologize to yourself. You need to offer yourself forgiveness. You need to communicate with yourself why you've been putting on this facade, why you've been hiding from this. What is it that you need to apologize for? You need to apologize to yourself. What is it that you need to apologize for? We have the snake and the hedge maze. You've been deceiving yourself, telling yourself that you desire something, you're very passionate about something, you attempted to do, you followed temptation here, but it's led to self-deceit. All right, you've deceived yourself about something and it's left you feeling lost and confused, and you feel like you cannot find your way out. The way you find yourself out of this hedge maze that you've gotten yourself into here, Aquarius, it's going to be slightly different for a lot of you, but that's what that mask is that you need to take off. That stop deceiving yourself that this has not affected you. You need to apologize to yourself. I'm getting like issues of guilt and blame here. You've blamed yourself for something. You feel guilty for something. You feel shame about something. You feel as though you've done something wrong here. It doesn't matter whether you have or have not. You need to stop deceiving yourself about the truth of the matter if you want to break free from this hedge maze. If you want to break free from, feeling lost and stuck and confused and like, I don't know how to find my way out of this. The way that you find your way out of this is facing this issue and stop lying to yourself, taking that mask off and being honest with yourself, communicating honestly with yourself. All right. Clarity. We have the clarity card, the third eye card there. Okay, so you need to, open up that third eye. Okay, Aquarius, I'm getting here that for some of you, it may actually really help to do some like third eye meditation type stuff, third eye frequency stuff. You can find a lot of that on YouTube. There may be something very useful for you with that. If you know much about third eye stuff, astral stuff, definitely looking into that sort of thing. But finding clarity within yourself, by being honest and taking off the facade that you've been showing to yourself here when it comes to apologizing to yourself that just because you feel like you've done the wrong thing, it doesn't mean it was the wrong thing. It meant that it was the only thing that you felt that you could do at the time is kind of what I'm feeling for you there, Aquarius. But yeah, that's you needing to apologize to yourself. Okay, so take that as that resonates. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Okay, I'm just going to grab a drink quickly. Don't mind me. Okay, obviously this video is getting quite long, so there is the need for me to, my throat is getting a little bit sore, I'm not going to lie. All right, so we will move on to Pisces. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know in regard to their shadow work? What does Pisces need to know in regard to shadow work? Ooh, Pisces, alchemy. Turning that trash into gold. What are you up to, Pisces? This feels very mystical kind of energy. What's going on here? I mean, that King Midas. You got the Midas touch. How's that song go? I've forgotten. But I know there's a song. Everything you touch turns to gold, baby. Whoa. I feel like that's too much. Okay, Pisces. What does Pisces need to know in regard to shadow work? Shadow work for Pisces. Once again, way too many. Just trying to give me half the deck there, Pisces. Shadow work for our Pisces, please. I think I just noticed one of them cards that I've just put one back in the deck upside down. So I'm going to actually, I feel like, take that for you, Pisces, if I can find it. Very interesting. All right. And one more. Oh. Okay. Everything you touch turns to gold, Pisces. Pisces. What are you up to, Pisces? I'm excited to look into the Lenormand when we get to that for you here, Pisces, because this is very, I feel like this is some sort of, like this is actually quite positive. For shadow work, it's actually very, very positive. Normally when it comes to shadow work, it's all about looking at the darker side of yourself, so incorporating that into yourself. I feel like that's kind of like, for some of you, it's like there is an element of the shadow work coming through that you are not realizing how powerful you are. You are not realizing what an alchemist you are. You're not aware of the fact that you can turn this into gold. That whatever this rock is in your hand, you seem to not be aware of how potent you are. So it's kind of asking you to like really look at that and accept that as part of who you are here, Pisces, and really take that on board, that you have this ability within you to turn ish into gold. Firstly, we're seeing the spring card, which is all about the seeds energy as the key word there. So it's planting seeds for your future. I feel like a lot of you have already planted these seeds without even knowing it, because what you've done here, you've planted some seeds thinking that you were planting apple trees. All right, you've gone around your garden and you've put some apple seeds in the ground, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I might grow some apples. You know, that's pretty standard fruit. I'm going to grow some apples. These apple trees are going to turn into, like, what's the golden apple? The tree of life, like the apple of immortality or something. It ain't just a normal apple tree that you've gone around and planted. You think that's all it is. You've planted these seeds going, yeah, you know, we might get a few apples one day, you know, looking in the long term. I'll plant the seeds now and I'll water those and nurture those and look after those, you know. But, you know, I'm just expecting, you know, some apples, some, you know, Granny Smiths, you know, the standard apples are going to grow. But the way that you, just you yourself, you don't realize that you're turning those apples into gold, that you are actually going to sprout something much greater than what you've planted. It's like you've planted one seed and then, you know, a year from now you're looking around wondering, why is there 10 trees growing here? I only planted one seed. Why is all of a sudden these 10 trees growing here? It's like I'm seeing the example for someone here that you've planted this seed of thought in someone's mind that you and them could actually be a really great pairing. And you didn't really think that much of it. You just went, I'll just let them know that I think they're a bit of all right. I'll just plant that seed in the back of their mind that, you know what, I reckon we could be all right together. And then you move on with your life and you know, a year from now or a year from when you've planted that seed, all of a sudden this person is obsessed with you. And they're like, I've got to do everything in my power to show Pisces I'm worthy. Interesting, because I do feel for a lot of you this is some sort of love offer coming through for you here. Pardon? We do have the messages and dreams. So for some of you, these are not even, you know, literal seeds that you've planted. These are not thoughts that you've planted. These are dreams that you've had. You know, you've kind of manifested these messages to somebody, or you know, you may not have even met this person. I'm kind of feeling this energy of like You've just put it out there into the universe, planted that seed into the universe that, oh, it'd be really nice to meet somebody who was like this and this and this, and who could offer me this and this and this, and, you know, and they had, you know, they liked me like this and blah, blah, blah. You've put that seed out there into the universe, forgotten all about that, and, you know, you subconsciously, it'd be working in the background. You know, you've sent that message out into the universe now, and it's kind of like that seed has been planted. The message has been received. The dream is on its way to being fulfilled. All right. And some of you, this is on a totally like subconscious level too. Alchemy. You don't realize how powerful you are. I feel like for a lot of you, this is manifestation. You're really manifesting something really important here. Something quite special for a lot of you. We do have the earth signs coming out here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So we may be seeing an important offer, the offer card that generally is a love offer, you know, coming through, something blooming. Okay, you see the seeds you planted over here, they look pretty boring inside that little globule there. We've just got some little plain red seeds. But now look at them. You dreamed them into existence, Pisces. They're now going to be this beautiful big flower opening up into your life. They very well could have a strong earth placement. For a lot of you, I feel like it's not necessarily an earth placement. I feel like it's somebody who just encapsulates a lot of the earth elements. Like, this person is very grounded and stable. This person is very sort of, you know, they're perseverant and determined, and you know, I'm just getting that grounded energy, that they're very, you know, strong and secure in who they are, and they're very strong and stable for you. They're just a very sort of strong, dependable kind of energy for you here, Pisces. And you know, we do see, you know, a bit of stubborn energy comes through with the earth signs as well. We do also see, you know, a bit of power comes through, since we've got Capricorn as one of those signs. You know, organization, those sorts of things come through. They're a very organized person, very structured type person. They may be a lover of, you know, material things. You know, we do see Taurus who love good food. We do see, you know, Capricorn who do love, you know, money is the common one we hear about Capricorn. We do have Virgo that do love structure. All right, so we do have that materialistic kind of energy coming through there as well. So for some of you, it may be a materialistic offer coming through as well. Like, Pisces, you've turned this into gold. You've put it out there in your dreams that you're wanting something very fruitful, and here it comes, bang. Any advice for Pisces with their shadow work? I don't feel like this is shadow work, Pisces. I feel like this is manifestation. Manifestation 101 for our Pisces. Sorry, I'm going a bit crazy. Obviously, you guys are the last sign I'm doing today, so I am going a little bit cray-cray. We're up to, what, 3 hours or something? So, almost 3 hours. Okay, Pisces. Advice for Pisces with their shadow work. You. The Bear. Be strong, firm, have strong boundaries. Be firm with your boundaries. Don't let people walk all over you. Be, you know, strong and powerful energy wins the day for you here, Pisces. Heading into the future with your own boundaries up. You know, not to the point of being defensive. You know, but strong, powerful, and you know, having protective of yourself. Okay, protective of this dog energy, that cute little puppy, protecting that cute little puppy of yourself, the sides of yourself that are loyal, that the sides of yourself that are, you know, going to be somebody's companion to walk through life with, if this is a love offer. You know, but ultimately it's compassion and understanding, being your own friend first, by being protective of your own energy, protective of yourself. Protective of these dreams, these seeds you've planted, being protective of those. And then we do see the fish. It's all about abundance, wealth, finances. So we definitely could be seeing some sort of financial offer being made here. So for those of you where this isn't love, this is definitely something financial headed your way that you've kind of willed into existence here, Pisces. So I kind of really love this for you guys. This is, you're going to be getting a strong love offer or a strong, financial opportunity headed your way. This opportunity for, money. Or it could just be an offer from somebody with love that is well-to-do, money-wise, material. Like I said, with the earth signs, they can, be very strong materialistic signs as well. So we definitely could see that. But, standing your ground, standing strong and firm in who you are, staying loyal to yourself first and foremost, having a lot of compassion and understanding for yourself. But also, I feel like there's this need for you here, Pisces, to actually really look at yourself and how powerful you truly are. You have a lot more power here than you realize. And, you're manifesting this into existence, like literally dreaming something into existence here. There's a strong, strong power coming from your energy here, Pisces. So I love that for you guys, but there's something about you needing to look at that and own it. Standing strong in that power and owning it, okay? Realizing that you are able to will this stuff into existence. So, being careful not to plant those seeds unless you really want that plant to sprout, because sometimes when we see manifestation, it's that energy of be careful what you wish for. All right, so don't be putting a wish out there, a dream out there that you don't truly want, because it might just come true. And if you don't really want that in your life, why are you putting energy in and manifesting that? Okay, make sure you're manifesting positive and loving and money. Okay, so that's what we have for you, Pisces. I love it for you, but you are more than welcome to check your other placements. Of course, I do recommend your moon sign being the full moon and all, but leave a comment if you want to go in the draw for a free personal reading, and hopefully I will see you all again soon.